I am Chris Sullivan, Anderson District 1 on County Council. Tonight's meeting from March 3rd, we had one of our bigger special presentation meetings. We had 3 resolutions or proclamations. The first one was to Justin Harris, the Outstanding Citizen of Anderson County proclamation. A great guy that does a ton in our community and has been doing it for decades, so we recognized him. We had Steve and Fern Collins, who kind of host our people out at Green Pond Landing. They're very well known out there in that area. They are a great representative of Anderson County. They treat people like family out there. There's a lot of campers out there, a lot of people throughout the day, so happy to recognize them. They're not retiring or going anywhere. We're just recognizing them, so you like to do that to folks that are doing such a great job. And then the last one was we recognized the Road Hogs, and it's the mission, it's a part of the mission of the Vets Helping Vets, and that's probably one of our largest crowds of the year by far. These Vets Helping Vets, they take care of themselves. It's an amazing part of our community. They cut grass, they pick up trash. You call them and they all come together, and it's huge having them in our community, and we are super blessed to have the Vets Helping Vets here. And my old principal, Don Saxon, came and grabbed me out of the crowd, and he's one of the ones that formed this in 2014. So glad to see him putting his energy to such good work in our community. As for the meeting, had a long meeting, about 3 or 4 page agenda. Had third reading on the solar ordinance. We did not have anything in place, so you know, I talked to some people today, and they're like, every 10 years an industry comes around that you really haven't planned for. Started with textiles, automobile industry, and here we are with solar, where it really hasn't come up. And we set some pretty stiff guidelines, and our main thing is, if somebody, when the end of life happens, we want somebody tied to that bill that is going to fix that, return that back to its natural use. And our attorneys do a great job. It's taken a while to get this together, but we have that in place. We have the setbacks in place. So any solar farm looking to come to Anderson now has to abide by these rules. And so we're super excited to have that in place. Another third reading was on the advisory board, the economic advisory board, people having a vested interest in property that's involved with this. So we, in full transparency, we don't want somebody that's got a stake in a fee and lieu deal serving on that board. So they have to actually remove themselves from the board if that's the case. And the third one was Lovewell Ministries, opioid recovery money. Doesn't cost the county a penny, but we've taken care of. We've got a house now for these women recovering from opioid issues, and they do a fantastic job. And that's $1 a year to the county to keep that, and we're glad to have the folks in place that are doing that. Kim Atkins does a great job with that. Very thankful to have her in place. Townhomes, now we kind of had some things in the past where some townhomes came in. We had a parking, it was based on parking spaces, had some things come into some parts of the county that didn't want it and took advantage of the parking spot situation. So now we cut it to 31. If you're doing 31 or more townhomes, you've got to come through the planning commission, got to come through the front door on this thing, and we're going to keep an eye on it. We don't want to be filling up areas of the county, roads not built properly for all this extra traffic, and these townhomes can do that. They can put a lot of traffic on these secondary roads, and we want to kind of own that situation a little bit better. The rest, we kind of got to fee and lieu issues. Project Fly Rod 1, it came up a question. Mr. Elgin brought up a question about the code names, and Burris Nelson gave a great answer that we do give these businesses the ability to use a code name for the first 2 readings. A lot of these, they're publicly traded companies. They want to make sure things are in place before they announce it to employees, to stockholders, everything like that. So we give them that right. Now, we had Duke Energy came through tonight. They chose not to use the code name. They wanted to be out front from the beginning, owning it. So they did not use it, but Fly Rod did pass. And I mean, they're a current customer of Anderson County that has built up a lot of trust, I think, with the council and everyone. Project Cherry, we had a project that Greenville County did, Project Cherry, that we have a joint park with them, so we have to approve it. We get money off of that from Greenville County, and then when we do things, we add Greenville as well, so it's kind of a handshake agreement. I think we fare better with money coming from Greenville to us than going to them, but it is one of these little steps you have to do for the SSRCs and everything in there. Let's see. Our airport, we have another group wanting to build a hangar out there. We have a huge backlog of people wanting places, hangars to put their planes in. They want them covered and taken care of. I think I'd heard one time it was over 80 people that were in line for this thing, maybe closer to 100. But now we're working with people. They're building the hangar on their dime. We let them use the land. In 20 years, or 20 or 30 years, it falls back to us. We own it. So kind of a no-brainer to stir activity. And man, if you have not visited our airport with the playground and how first class that place is, they cover their own dollar out there. They bring in money, and they don't ask the county for anything but support out there, and they do a great job. So it's a point of pride for Anderson what they do out there. We also added the planning commission. If you have a property involved in a fee and lieu deal, that you have to recuse yourself. So that kind of covers what we did on the Economic Development Commission. With Duke Energy, I will say, this is for a gas-fired turbine engine plant. This is not anything other than that. They are going to produce electricity. Duke will own this. I think we came out, the current property taxes on that property is $292. Year one, the property taxes will be $459,000. And I think there's a 40 years scale on this thing. In 40 years, $695 million in tax revenues. So the fee and lieu, in this situation, we're actually going to be customers of Duke Energy and the power they produce. So by us reducing some of their costs with the fee and lieu, it will be passed along to us because that is less overhead for them to carry. So Duke has a well-established track record. They are monitored. They have to work by ordinances, but they're monitored by many agencies that will monitor anything that escapes into the environment or doesn't escape, but they will be tracked heavily. Project Bento, let's see, an $11.5 million investment, 202 jobs created. The average pay will be $22.03 an hour, plus a health package, which we estimate to be another $10 to $12 per hour. So significant payroll. The annual payroll will be $8.9 million of people working and living in Anderson County, we hope. So the property taxes paid on that in 2024 was $14,800. In 2026 will be $93,630, and they are projected in 34 years to pay close to $6 million in property taxes to Anderson County. We had some executive session work. I don't think anything else other than that. We know that we have some Anderson residents that are serving overseas. And the USS Abraham Lincoln, I know of 3 personally. I would call them boys, but they're men. If they're serving over there, I know the families well, and we recognize them before the meeting. And then Greg Elgin mentioned at the end that there's probably a lot of folks that we don't know serving over there, but we definitely want to take a moment to pause, respect the folks that are serving overseas. This terrible time. There's so many different countries involved and working together, and hopefully keep our boys safe and girls safe. But just a very rough time in the world economy right now, and we want to root for our hometown folks and their families, because they go to bed every night not really knowing how their son is doing, their daughter's doing. So we pray for them and want to recognize them. But I think that sums up everything from tonight's meeting. We want to thank y'all and have a great week.